Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're talking about the belt of truth out of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14, where it says, gird yourself with the truth. And gird there is a word to put a belt around you. And we've talked about that a little bit. We're going to still talk about truth. The truth that we are to gird ourselves with is the truth of God. The truth from God, the truth that God is truth, and there is no truth without Him. Okay, you can't have truth unless God is involved in it. You know, it's curious to me that we say today that truth is relative, and we base that concept on that we have accepted evolution, that everything evolves, and if everything evolves, then truth also must evolve. It's not consistent. It's not the same. Truth now is different than it was 1,000 years ago. No, truth is the same. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And a lot of times we want to substitute the truth with a truth. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But to believe that truth is relative, to believe that truth is not consistent, or that truth does not exist, is literally to suppress the truth. Now listen to this. I want to give you an example of this. Today in education, there's a great debate about this, that if you teach children 2 plus 2 is always 4, that is wrong, that you are trying to program children that there is always a definite answer. Truth has become political. Math has become political. Math has become racist. Math has become all these things. Because, see, 2 plus 2 equals 4. If you teach that, if you're adamant about that, then you are discriminating against people who may think it's 5. And so in some schools and some educational materials, they actually say you shouldn't tell a child that it's wrong because you could systemically injure their ability to experiment or to think outside the box if you tell them that 2 plus 2 isn't 4 all the time. Well, let me just put it this way. The people who say that are suppressing the truth, because 2 plus 2 is always 4. It's not 4.2, it's not 4.5, it's not 3.5. 4 or 2 plus 2 is always 4. It always comes up the same. See, that shows a consistency. This is like God, that God is consistent. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. 2 plus 2 used to be 4. It's still 4 today. And in 1,000 years from now, 2 plus 2 will still equal 4. It doesn't change. Therefore, math, you can say, is kind of a representation of who God is. It doesn't change. It's dependable. You can rely on it. You can trust math as far as math can go. Now, why do I say that they're suppressing the truth? Well, they don't want children to have to live up to the expectation of others. Now, this is a question I have. If you were going to fly on a rocket ship to Mars or to the moon, would you rather know that the designer of the rocket ship believed in the truth that 2 plus 2 is 4 all the time, or would you rather have someone who says, well, here it could be 4, but it could be 5 or 8, or maybe 3.5? Which rocket ship designer do you trust more to fly a mission to the moon or to Mars? Well, the obvious question is the guy who is consistent in his math. Because the guy who isn't consistent, he could say, well, I'm just going to fudge here a little bit. And boom, the rocket explodes and you're dead. But the guy who's consistent, although they may have many failures before they get everything together, when they're consistent and they know that it works because they've used proven standards of math to arrive at that point, he's not being discriminatory, he's being accurate. And now you can trust him that he's designed the rocket, he's tested it. It's the same, when they build a new rocket, it's on the same standard, same qualifications, same specifications as the previous rocket. So there's a consistency in its performance. I can trust him because I know it's going to work. Because if he can prove and make it work once, he can duplicate that and make it work again. But if truth is relative, well, it might have worked that time, but it may not work this time, and we're all going to die. We're really sorry about that, but that's how truth is. It changes every day. No, truth is consistent. Now, let me close with this. Romans chapter 1 Verses 18 and 19, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness. Because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. This is why I say, if you reject the truth, you're rejecting God. Because truth is the person of God. And to reject Him is to reject the truth that God has revealed to every person. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.